What's up, everybody? I'm back with another video for you today. Okay, today I want to talk a bit more about what happened with that spiritual energy download that I was talking about I got 9 years ago in my other video. Okay, and all the crazy ass stuff that happened. The military helicopter that came and turned on a spotlight onto both me and Sheldon, okay, my mentor sort of at the time, who did this crazy download to me. So if you haven't seen it already, go ahead and click on my channel, click videos, click on the video called Spiritual Energy Download Military Helicopters, okay? So you know what we're talking about here. I was gonna go a bit more into this spiritual stuff, but I kind of also want to talk a lot more, god damn it, about society and the ways we've been mind controlled and manipulated and socially conditioned. Okay. Okay, real quick about the download. The energy for this download came from beings, these beings, okay? You can call them astral beings, interdimensional beings, okay? They exist. They're disembodied consciousnesses that exist just beyond our five senses, okay? But if you meditate a lot, you can start to see them. You can start to, work with this kind of energy. And that's where the energy for this download came from. There's both positive and negative beings like this. I've seen some of the negative ones before. They look like these dark floating spots in the air. I saw them for like about a split second to maybe half a second. And I would see them float really quickly, like in my house before, a long time ago. They would float really quickly into the wall. And right when they did that, I'd hear a loud crack in like the structure of the house right when they did that. And there's at least a couple of times where I've seen that happen. They fly into the wall real quick, you hear a loud crack in the structure of the house. No. So this download that Sheldon gave me, he said before this big download, he gave me a number of smaller downloads, okay, that were pretty mild. They're pretty mild. I was just pretty normal. God damn it, stop fucking coming up. I was pretty normal after the fact. One was actually quite pleasant. But neither of us expected how big this last one would be. Neither of us expected that. So, okay, I can talk a lot more about this spiritual stuff. There's a whole lot more to talk about with it, but I want to get into more of what's going on down here on the ground, on the earth right now, okay? So look, basically, you've been lied to about damn near everything your entire life. Damn near everything, okay? It's pretty crazy when you think about it. You've been lied to by schools, the media, churches, all that stuff. All of it's been lying to you. All of those things are ultimately funded by people like the Rockefellers, and ultimately by the New World Order to keep people dumbed down and mind controlled and enslaved, okay? Keep you just smart enough to run the machinery, too dumb to know what's really going on. Just keep you running on that treadmill. You're always worrying about paying your next bill so you don't end up on the streets. You're constantly worried about that, while you don't know what the hell is really going on. So you just live this brainwashed sheep life your whole life till you die. That's what they want. Just keep using you to run on that treadmill. In terms of religion, I don't really like organized religion. But as Mark Passio says, who I talked about before, I'm going to link his video down in this one in the description. Just again, the same video from my previous video, just because it's just that good, okay? And Mark Passio talks about there's esoteric and exoteric traditions in all the major religions. The esoteric tradition is the hidden tradition, where they actually get into the real stuff, okay? The real spiritual aspects, all that stuff, the hidden tradition. The exoteric, that's the one that the masses see. That's the one they see in the mainstream churches and mosques and synagogues. That's the exoteric tradition, okay? So the esoteric tradition in Christianity would be Gnostic Christianity. There's also different kinds of Gnostics that were from ancient Greece. In Judaism, the esoteric tradition would be Kabbalah. In Islam, the esoteric tradition would be Sufism, okay? And they actually get into the more real stuff. But the exoteric, that's what the masses see. It's more the brainwashing bullshit, okay? That's why I can't take Bible-thumping Christians too seriously. Sound like a bunch of fucking morons a lot of the time. Alright, so look, I'm after the real truth here, 100% truth. You know, I think there probably was a Jesus, okay? I think there probably was a Jesus, but he did not want to be any kind of savior. I think what he was saying was basically saying, do what I do, and you can be like me. Do what I do, you can be like me, have my abilities. You know, Christ consciousness. You can have that too. That's what he was really saying, not, I'm your savior, oh, please save me. No, I don't think that's what it was at all. So society does all this stuff. They've disempowered us a lot too. See, the New Agers, I have to give the New Age some credit because they talk about some things that actually exist. The third eye, the pineal gland, that gives you access to seeing into this greater reality, okay? Talk about the spiritual energy that exists, the energy in the body that exists, that no other traditions, no other religions seem to talk about. They don't. So you got to give the New Agers some credit, okay? The New Age some credit. But with that comes a lot of what Mark Passio calls New Age bullshit, okay? A lot of New Age bullshit that comes with it too. Certain things are a type of this New Age pacifism and being passive and just never get angry. There's never a time and place to get angry, even though there is to get angry and have righteous indignation, okay? There is a time for the use of physical force and self-defense, okay? Down here in this physical world on earth, okay? Look, there's probably other realms, other dimensions, other realms where life is a lot better and easier than it is here, okay? There probably is, but that's not where we are right now, man, okay? We're down here in the physical world in a war zone, okay? A goddamn war zone here on earth, okay? So in my opinion, since this is the case, it's time to start training for it, okay? Time to start preparing for it. Down here on earth, there is still a place for things like physical strength, okay? Fighting ability, the use of firearms for the defensive use of force. There's still a place for all that stuff down here. Let's talk about a little bit more about these agendas, going on, okay? At this point, the New World Order is using quote-unquote liberal progressive agendas to spread their control. And these ideas sound good on the surface. It can sound pretty good on the surface, but all of them, when you dig deep, are not what they seem, okay? Feminism, racial equality, gay rights, all that stuff. You might call me some sort of a bigot or something for talking against it, but honestly, that's the last fucking thing I care about at all if someone thinks I'm a bigot, okay? Go ahead and think that. It's the truth. All these liberal progressive agendas. See, at this point, if you had to choose a side, which it might come down to, okay? If there's ever a quote-unquote apocalyptic scenario, which I don't think it'll happen everywhere, maybe just in certain parts of the country, of the world. But if you had to choose a side, which side would you be on, okay? The left wing is right now completely fucking insane, okay? And the right wing all of a sudden starts to make a lot more sense. Hey, they want small government, the right to own guns. Hey, not so bad, right? Even though they're probably both wings of the same bird, ultimately, you know. Puppet politicians elected on again to Trump again. Of what he's actually about, what the people who put him in power are actually about. That's what I'm really thinking about. People who actually put him in power, not the bullshit mainstream media says put him in power or whatever the fuck. Oh, he's a racist, sexist. Shut the fuck up. At least look at the real truth, the real facts, not what the bullshit mainstream media tells you. So yeah, it's basically, you know, the dark side as a tactic. Or they'd be like, oh, you're spiritual, why are you getting angry? You know, if you're spiritual, why are you getting angry? That's just a tactic that they use. You know? And the reason is because we ain't taking no more fucking shit no more, alright? We ain't taking no more fucking shit no more. Had enough. Had way past enough. Okay? It's time to take a strong fucking stand. Strong fucking stand against the dark. A strong fucking stand against the New World Order. They're trying to roll out a highly technological surveillance and police state. All the tech companies are in it. The tech giants are evil. They're all in it. Time to take a strong fucking stand against that. Like, fuck you. We're not doing that shit around here. We're not doing that stuff around here, man. You know? So, yeah. You know, I hope everything works out, you know, for the best. You know? You gotta be preparing for the worst, too, though. In another video, I can talk more in depth about this crazy spiritual stuff. You're really into it. But that's not what I wanted to do in this one. Not in this video. You know, in this country, people forget in the U.S. They forget that just because they live in the most prosperous country in the world right now, that hasn't had a war that really affected it since World War II, that hasn't been invaded on its homeland since the War of 1812 with the British, okay? They've forgotten. They've forgotten how they've been spoiled, okay? They became decadent like the Roman Empire did. The Roman Empire became decadent. That was one of the reasons that it collapsed. And us now in the United States, just like the new Roman Empire. You know, so don't forget all that stuff, okay? So yeah, crazy world we're living in, man. I'll tell you that much. Crazy world we're living in. I think it's time for people to take their power back, and the way we've been disempowered. All right, take your power back, and you start waking up to the truth. Start telling people about this stuff. Start telling them. They're not going to want to hear it. Because you know why? Because they're brainwashed and socially conditioned as hell. They're not going to want to hear it. It's a battle. It's a battle. It's a war of the minds. War of the minds, man. Okay? They're socially conditioned and brainwashed. You're not going to want to hear it. You got to tell them anyway. Okay? How are we going to win this war otherwise? Okay? It might be some divine intervention that I don't know about. Possibly. Hopefully. I mean, it doesn't look like it. But there might be something. I don't know. But alright, guys. Thank you for listening to this. Alright? Alright, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. You guys have a good one, alright?